Welcome to Paint Yourself into the Picture, healing conversations to help us create the most amazing picture of our lives. I'm Reba and I'm so glad you're here. Our guest today is Marguerite Uhlmann-Bower. Marguerite is a licensed nurse and a traditionally trained herbalist who helps clients with alternative wellness strategies. She also leads outdoor plant identification workshops that train participants in forest bathing and wild foods foraging techniques. We are way outside the box here, so I am so excited about this. Marguerite founded, in 2011, she founded Weeds, Leaves, Seeds, and Shoots, all about wild foods education. And in 2016, she co-founded Plant Pioneers, a human-plant relations movement with 12 other green heart nature lovers. I cannot wait to find out more. Welcome, Marguerite. It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me here, Reba. I am excited to introduce everyone to these new concepts around plants. And I'm so excited to be able to do them here, and people will be able to see nationally.
Yes, we actually have some treats in store for everyone, because we're not just going to be talking about it. I chatted with Marguerite before, and I'm like, this just sounds so amazing. I've got to see what you're talking about. So we're going to be in for some treats. So first, tell us, Marguerite, what sets your work apart from, let's say, a typical plant identification walk?
My walks are about sustainability and communing with the plants and learning how to interact with them in ways that we never really ever imagined before. That's the difference.
That is different.
Music of the plants is like a bridge to help and bring people to that place where they could better understand just what is going on. We're very movement-oriented people. We're sound-oriented people. Plants are quiet. They make nothing movement. Music of the plants is like that bridger, and it's a game changer, and it's a visual, and it completely reintroduces a whole concept about plant intelligence that people are wonderful, really want to know. It's wonderful. So yes, that's how my walks are different.
Okay, that is sounds amazing. So what is music of the plants? I mean, are they singing? Are they operatic? Are they country? Are they rock?
All of that, I guess it could be. Actually, Music of the Plants is a device that was created by the Federation of Damenhur in Italy, and they have been working on this device for the last 30 or 40 years. And recently, in the last 3 to 4 years, they've made this device available for the lay person and herbalist and anyone who chooses to have one. And it's a synthesizer. And it's a synthesizer that reads frequencies that are in the plant and then sends out those frequencies through a speaker for you and I and anyone else to hear as audible sounds.
Wow.
And the sounds are from within the synthesizer. However, the plant gets to do the playing.
So they're in a way, the plant is emitting pure energy, yeah. Or are they emitting sound? The energy gets interpreted into sound, or how exactly does it work?
So what they think, because this is a new science, it's new. It's not like what the Aborigines have already know, but. So they believe, scientists believe, as well as Damenhur believe, that there's these frequencies that are in plants that are created by either fluids or electrical or opening and closing gate channels that make these movements happen. And it makes these movements happen through their electrical signal into the synthesizer. The synthesizer reads the frequencies, hertz, varying hertz, and then emits those specific hertz sounds into the speaker as music.
Wow.
So now we get to choose the music from the synthesizer, but I never change the music because, Reba, I feel that we'll start to better understand our plants if we stay with the same sound.
Yes, obviously. Let them speak for themselves finally, right? So do you have a favorite plant to listen to? Is there a plant whose frequency you like better than another?
It just happened to be the night blooming cereus, but I couldn't bring the night blooming cereus with me today because it's about 6 foot tall and 5 foot wide and maybe 100 pounds of weight. So I brought my traditional trio. I brought basil and rose scented geranium and oh dear, and another one.
Okay.
My plants. So I have 3 plants that they usually play together. So I bring them on a regular basis. So
Well,
that
should we jump in and
we
yeah,
should.
let's do this. Okay, so people, you're in for a treat while Marguerite gets set up with everything she needs to do and tell us. We're in for a treat. Marguerite is actually we're going to have singing plants on the show. Now, this is definitely a first. I haven't had many singers.
Back here is the speaker.
Aha.
And the speaker is right now turned off, but low on low. And then right over here, I'll try to show everyone.
Yeah.
We have basil. Basil is hooked up.
Yay, basil.
And let me see. Here is a little bit of like a wire that is like so.
Okay, hold it up against the white background a little bit. Yeah, that's great. So you put that in the soil?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
We need a ground.
Uh-huh.
And it measures the pressure gradient between that and then a clip that is on the plant. And let me just see. I'm turning it off because I don't want to shock the plant. So I'll show you the clip. Oh dear. Yeah.
We haven't had many singers on the show, let alone singing plants.
So here's the clip.
Uh-huh. Okay, like an alligator clip.
Very, very gentle.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I do, Reba, is clip it to a nice fresh leaf.
Uh-huh. And that one leaf is where you're getting all the information from.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And then here's the synthesizer.
Okay.
And the synthesizer, this is connected to the speaker. And it's also hooked up by this other, which is hooked to right to the plant. And this other piece, like I said, is hooked to the speaker, so we can hear what the plant is playing.
Awesome.
And then I turn it on, and then you see in this little tiny synthesizer that it's green, and that tells me there's a good connection.
Great.
And so the next thing I'll do is turn up the speaker because basil is already playing while we were talking. And I'll bring you closer to the speaker. And this is basil right here. Basil.
That is blowing my mind.
So
it has its own little rhythm. It has a pattern.
mm-hmm. Yep.
It has a feel to the energy.
And it has been doing this the whole time we have been talking, but I just turned down the speaker so that we could hear me and you talk. And now, so this is basil.
Welcome, basil.
Yeah. Yeah. And so if there is this little piece in the soil, and if that piece isn't there, we can't register the pressure gradient, the frequency that is in the plant, and so it immediately stops. But let me tell you some stories around this and that people need to know.
Let's turn that down a little bit. And then, you know, we want to hear what another plant sounds like as well. It's fascinating.
Okay, so while we're talking, I'll do that. People need to know that there's a lot of research that is validating that plants indeed are not only intelligent, but are communicating with each other and their world around them, and as well as insects and so on and so forth. They know that, and they have validated scientifically, not that the Aborigine people didn't know this, Reba, but scientifically it's being validated that plants can hear, feel, see, taste, smell, and touch.
Wow. I'm just so thrilled to be hearing a plant in that way. That just blew my mind.
Yes. Now I want everybody to know too, they're very lucky because plants don't always play. They're not on our time, and they're not, and they have you know, the light could be green, but they may not want to play.
Right. Right.
So what I'm doing right now as we talk is I'm hooking up to the plant that I had forgotten its name, and it's begonia.
Oh, begonia.
So I just hooked it up to begonia. And let's see, we'll be playing the same instrument, and we'll see if begonia is going to play for us today. I want to say begonia usually is a big player. It's on green. Goodness gracious me. She might want to play a lot today. Let's see what happens. I'll turn it up more. Oh yeah, there she goes. I didn't do anything. Now it's the same instrument, but it's played differently.
It's a different melody.
When it ups, it's on its own doing this. So plants will play for me for hours and hours and hours, and then
Let me just say thank you, begonia.
yes,
Begonia.
this is all about them. Yes, this is truly all about them.
I feel like they really are singing on the show, and I thank them.
Well, they know because so I'm going by the trust of what Aborigine people know, have taught us through the herbalists and the training that we've had, but also through my experiences and now through science. And now we can bring this together and say that they indeed are communicating. My next thing, Reba, is to validate that they are indeed communicating with humans and how. And science hasn't bridged that yet, but I say, why wait? Let's find out. And so I tell people this in the workshops and bring people to this understanding, and we sit and meditate and or have experiences that are demonstrating they are indeed responding to us. They are indeed responding to us. And one of my biggest demonstrations was where we were collecting plants for food, because that's what my workshops are about. And I felt as we were collecting plants, okay, no more. I felt it in my heart that there was enough collected, and I didn't listen to that in my heart. And when I continued to collect, the plant stopped playing, and it wouldn't play anymore for the rest of the day. And so that tells me I should have listened. And that was the plant communicating to us. And so there's a lot of various ways we do this in these workshops. What does it mean? It's a game changer in sustainability. It's a game changer in being an environmentalist. It no longer means about recycling only. It also means about honoring and respecting everything on this planet.
So the story you just told about the plant refusing to sing anymore, there was a kind of a feeling of a breach of trust.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And that was by me.
Yes.
And
yes.
I was horrified.
Oh.
But it was a good teaching. We all needed that, including me. But it was also a really good introduction to the group that the people could see that this indeed is happening. Wow. Right in front of their eyes. Wow. Right in front of their eyes. So I plan to make a trek to Italy this year in October and discuss these questions with the scientists. Wow. And visit Dam and Hoard to see what else they're doing at their intentional community. And people can find this all over the internet, but here for you today is the first step.
Wow. Wow. I mean, people have done a lot. It sort of brings to mind, Findhorn, where they would in front of the crops, and then they grow these giant cauliflowers. I mean, the plants really responded. And this was, I think, in Scotland, rocky soil, not great conditions, but the plants responded to the energy that was being beamed their way. And this is absolutely fascinating. So you're going to Italy next
this coming October, and I'll be meeting with scientists in Spain, France, and Italy, and at Florence University. As a matter of fact, one of the scientists, Pelo is his name, in Spain with the Mint Lab, and people could look that up too. He's just finishing a book. He's on sabbatical right now, and I'll be meeting him just as he comes out of sabbatical. He's writing a book on plant consciousness.
Wow. So and what do you mean for somebody like, me or other people who are not very into plants, who maybe live in an urban environment? What do you suggest for a person like that?
Just to know this.
Just to know it.
Just to know it. Plants understand when we know that they're everything to us. They're our food, our medicine, our clothing, our housing, our heating, our oxygen. And people could look at plants as being one with them even. And how that is we breathe in their air, and they breathe in ours. And so they are actually living in us, and we are actually living in them. So there's many, many things that we can do, but just knowing that what goes around comes around. What we do to the earth, we do to ourselves. And it's a wonderful, beautiful cycle. And just knowing this is all that is necessary.
This is totally mind-blowing, beautiful, amazing, wonderful that you're doing the work and helping others. A lot of people, I think, know our connection to plants on an intuitive level.
Yes.
On a just really fundamental level. But you're bringing it to light. You're making it part of the conversation, and you're letting them be part of the conversation too, which is really amazing. Can you let me know and let our viewers know, how can people find you? Because I'm sure some people who are in the New York area might want to go on one of your walks with you and just learn more about what you're doing.
Yes, they can go to plantpioneers.org. And what they'll see there's a group of us there that are doing different types of programs. We're doing plant walks like such. There is another gentleman that is making music with plants. There's a young woman creating a book so children can see the same thing. We're doing a lot of different things, and they can find everything out on plantpioneers.org.
Awesome. That's just fantastic. Thank you so much, Marguerite Uhlmann-Bower, for being our guest. I really had a fabulous time, and I know our viewers did too. Thank you, Basil. Thank you, Begonia. And thank you to the third one that we didn't have time to hear from today. Yeah. We really appreciate your presence here too. And thank you to the viewers for being with us for this episode of Paint Yourself into the Picture. If you like what you're seeing, please stay in touch. My website is rebalinker.com and A2Zhealingspace.com. My Facebook group is Leaders in Self-Love. Please comment, subscribe, like the video. We love the love. Join us again next week for another healing conversation. Until then, remember that this is your turn to shine. Learn how to paint yourself into the picture, for this is how we heal. Many blessings.